A very good evening, all of you. I hope I'm audible to all and my screen is visible. So, yesterday, our code was not properly working. So, I did a very mistake yesterday. That is, over here, after the try block, we have to write this statement in order to take the email as well as password from the user. So, before that, before this statement, that is user.find1, you have to mention this statement. Let me provide it to you people. So just add this statement after the try block inside the authroutes.js. And secondly, you have to add, yesterday we created this middleware, right? That is authenticate token. So after that, you have to add this statement as well. So these were a couple of corrections. So Imran, they will upload the recording shortly. You don't have to worry about that. So this statement you have to add after the inside the authenticate token middleware. So today what we are going to learn is we will create a middleware for the role based user access. Over there, if we provide the user as user, then it will provide us welcome user, and if we will provide the role of the user as admin, then it will provide us with the message welcome admin. So for that, we will create a middleware after authenticate token. So here we will write const authorize role is equal to, within bracket, role will be the parameter, and then we will place request response, and since it's a middleware, we will place next as a parameter. And here we will place an if condition request dot user dot role. If not equal to role, then it will return res dot status with a status code of 403 with a JSON message dot JSON, and the message will be unauthorized. After that, we will place the next function. After that, writing a couple of middlewares, what we will do, we will export them. So for that, we will write module dot exports is equal to authenticate token as well as authorize role. So here we are exporting these couple of middlewares, and now create another file that is protected.js inside the routes folder. Inside this protected.js, what we will do, we will again import our express. It is const express is equal to require express. And then we will also import the previous middlewares that we mentioned in our authroutes.js, that is authenticate token as well as authorize role rule is equal to require from the routes from the auth routes. And then we will mention the middleware router const router is equal to express dot router. Here we will provide a router for the admin router dot get. Here we will provide our API endpoint, and that is going to be admin. And then as a second parameter, we will provide authenticate token, and then we will mention the authorize role, and inside the authorize role we will pass the parameter as admin. And then we will finally pass request and then response. This is our arrow function which will provide a JSON message res.json with a message welcome admin. And similarly, we will create a message for the user as well. It is router dot get user and then authenticate token authorize rule, and here the role will be user. Or we can also not provide the authorize role, or simply we can write the R function. The JSON message rest.json. Then it will show a message welcome user. So here also we will export our module dot exports is equal to router. So this is our protected route. Now what we will do, if we had made a file, then we have to import it in our server.js, right? So for that we will go to our server.js, and over there we will write our const protected route is equal to require routes, and from the routes we will get our protected route. So if we have imported that, we will also have to use it. So for that we will use app.use. Here we will write API since it is the endpoint, and then we will use protected routes. And for the auth routes, I will change it a little bit. That is API and then auth. Let's save it. I'll also save the auth routes. And our port number is 5000. So are there any doubts with you people? Are there any doubts that you did not understand in the code? So I assume that you people are left with no doubts. So let's go to our postman. So what I will do, I will write my URL http localhost 5000 and then I'll register a user. So for that, which API endpoint should I provide? In order to, that is API auth and then register. API auth and then register with a method request as post. Then we will go to the body with a raw data, and here we will provide the name as Shaurya. Email will be shaurya123@gmail.com, and then the password will be shaurya123, and the role will be admin. So here we did not initialize our server, right? So for that, we will initialize our server. Node mod server.js. Okay. Authorize role is not a function. So I might have not provided it any function, I guess. Okay. Over here, Let's create another file that is middleware.js. Middleware, and inside that we will create auth middleware.js, and inside that what I will do, I will place my entire middleware. Did you see that we were getting our token generated, which we were not getting yesterday? Reply with a yes or no. Did you see? Okay. That was the thing that we were not being able to do yesterday. And so here we got our token. So now we will select this entire token and copy it. We'll go to our header, and here we will provide or we can go to the authorization, and here we will select bearer token over here will be, we'll paste it, and then in order to provide or to check the user, we will provide the endpoint as it should be API, and then the endpoint is going to be user. API user. API and then user. Or it was admin, I guess. Admin. Let's send it. Okay. Let's change the endpoint. Save it. API user and then user. Okay, so this might have caused some error. So we will see what has caused the error. But for today, we are having our CRUD operations using as one, which means we will first create the user, then update the details of the user, and then we can delete or do these kind of CRUD operations. So for that, this much up to our user authentication, login as well as registration. Let's close this project. And now we will make our new project. So this was what? Our second section of our fourth week, I guess. Yeah, fourth week. Okay, it is the fourth week only. So I'll create a new folder. Now I'll go to my Visual Studio Code and open this same folder. So tell me the first command that I have to write before starting our backend. Yeah, npm init y. Right. After that, I will install all the dependencies. Npm install express and then course mongoose node1. Yeah, that's it. And then what we have to do, we have to create our models in which we will define our schema. And inside that, I will create user.js. So inside the schema, I want my user to provide. At first, I will import the mongoose, that is const mongoose is equal to require mongoose, and then const. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's see how much do you people remember. See, sorry, here we are not using any kind of encryption or password hashing. We are just creating the user, making necessary updates over there, deleting the user, right? So we will not install JSON Web Token or bcrypt.js. Got it? So tell me, in order to create a schema, which function do I have to use? Reply fast. Come on. Yesterday we did that, right? New mongoose.schema. All right. So here I will write const user schema is equal to new mongoose dot schema, and inside that I'll specify the name, which has to be the type of string, and then required will be true. Then email, it will be also of type string. Then it is also required true. It will be comma over here. And then finally I'll ask the age. Type number, it is also required true. Now I will export it. Mongoose module dot exports is equal to mongoose dot model dot model, said that user comma user schema. So this is our MongoDB schema. Let's save it, and then let's install our .env config. npm install .env, and here inside I will create server.js. .js, and here I will write require .env .config, and for using the env file I will create .env. Over here I'll store my Mongo URI. URI as well as my port. I'll provide the port number as 8500. And you people have to place your Mongo URI inside the .env file. Let me place it. So I have pasted my Mongo URI inside my .env file. And then what I will do, I will import const express is equal to require express. Then I will write what else do I have to import? I will import mongoose, right? Mongoose is equal to require mongoose. And then const user is equal to, we will import the model and from the model we will import user. After that we will import course okay const course is equal to require course and then we will provide our express to const app is equal to express. We will also use app dot use express dot json app dot use course. Now we will connect our MongoDB. So for that, tell me which function do we use in order to connect our MongoDB with our Node.js. Mongoose.connect. All right. Connect to MongoDB. Mongoose.connect. First will be my process dot env dot mongo URI. And then inside the object I will place use new URL parser, and this will be true, and use unified topology. This is also going to be true. And if it is connected, then print console.log MongoDB connected, and if it's not connected, dot catch, it will print error will be console.log error connecting to MongoDB, comma, error. After that, we'll make our port get listened. So that for that we will use app.listen, and then process dot env dot port or else 8500, and then an arrow function console.log log server is running on port. Now we will define our routes. So firstly we will define the default route, that is app dot get, and here I will specify an endpoint running backslash, and this will say res dot send hello, today we will perform CRUD operations. And now starting with our CRUD operation. So the first operation will be my post operation. App dot post with the endpoint, that is user, followed by an asynchronous function within the inside that I will place the try catch block. Inside the try block I will write const user is equal to new user Okay, we imported our model.user, right? let's make it small u and give it as big U. New user, and it will take the input from the body. Then await user dot save. Then we will save the data. After that, we will provide it with a response with rest.send or with a status code 201 along with the data inside the JSON format. And if any error occurs, we will send the status code 400 with a JSON message. Error.message. I'll save it and then I will run it. Node1 server.js. I didn't provide the port. Yeah, I provided the port, I guess. Port. Const port is equal to process dot env dot port. Yeah, now it's running. So our port number is 8500. 8500. And what was our endpoint? Our endpoint was user. What if we provide the only endpoint? Now we will post our data, that is name Sana. After that, we will provide the email sana123@gmail.com, and the age will be 20. Are you people getting the output? Just a second. Let me check my Mongo URI if it's correct. So they are saying, ma'am, show the model created code once. So here is the model, and here is our code. See, when we are providing only the endpoint, that is get, that is our default endpoint, removing this, we are getting the output that is, hello, today we will perform crude operations. But when we are posting with the endpoint, that is user ABC, ABC with name, email, and age. Let's move on to another, that is app dot get. So now here we want to get all the users. So for that we will use users followed by an asynchronous function request and then response. Here it will be try catch block. For const users is equal to await user dot, we will use the find method. In order to get the data of all the users, we have to use the find method, and if all the users are found, we will respond with the status code 200 and then dot json users. And if there occurs some error, we will show that error to the user with error error dot message. Oh god, I forgot to put equal to over here. See, here we are getting. It is the name, email, as well as age of Shania. We are also getting the ID. Let's check in our MongoDB. Shaurya is created. Shania is also created. Did you see? Are you people able to see? All right. So now, if we want to get the data of all the users, we will put the data get, and then I will write only users. I will post it. See, here we are getting all the data, that is Geeta with the email and password, Shaurya as well as Shania. We are getting all the data, right? And what if we want to get only a single data? So for that, we will provide the endpoint app dot get. So inside the endpoint, to find the unique data. So what is unique in all these data? You people only tell. The name cannot. I can provide another data with name Siddharth, and I can provide another data with the siddharth@gmail.com. What thing is unique over here? ID, right? So in the endpoint, what I will do, I will provide the users followed by ID. User and then ID. So here async request, comma response, Yeah, in order to find the users by ID, we are having a function inside JavaScript. So we will use that function over here. This const user is equal to await and then user dot find by ID. This function is used in order to find the user by its ID. So here I will write request dot params dot ID, and then if the user is not found, so for that we write not user return res dot status 404 with a JSON message will be user not found, or else provide the user with the user res.json user, and if there occurs some error, then res.status 500, then JSON with an error message error dot message. Let's save it. I'll go over here and after user, right? Yeah, user, I will place my ID. Let's say I want to take the details of Shaurya. I'll copy this ID and I'll paste it over here. Right. CDE ID. See, we are getting the ID data of Shaurya here with this particular ID. I don't think you people. I don't think you people are having any doubt until which I have taught you. Are you people having any kind of doubt? We did these things in the previous class. Okay. So this is what we are done with our post and get request. Now, in order to update and delete the user, we are having two other methods that are put request as well as the delete request. So what if I want to change any data of any user? For that, I will write app.put. So we use the put function in order to update the data of a user. Update the data of the user. app.put followed by the API endpoint, user, and then ID with an asynchronous function response. Here I will write a try catch block. Inside that, const user is equal to await user dot. Here's a function that is find by ID and update that we use inside the put request to update the data of the user. So for that we will again use request.params dot id because we are requesting the id from the user, right? And then we will take request dot body and then we will write new will be true, comma, run validator as true. And if not user, then return respond with a status code of 404, providing a JSON message, or you may also say the error user not found. Otherwise, provide the user with u- user. Save it. I'll go back and change the data of Shaurya, that is name will be Ankita and the age will be 35. And I'll make a put request. There is no field of age in Shaurya, right? Shanaya we are having. So I'll copy the ID of Shanaya and then I will change the endpoint as user. See, the name got changed. The name is Ankita, the email is Shanaya, and the age is 35. This is how we update the data of our user. Got it? Did you people see? Come on, do respond. All right. And finally, we will what? We will delete the data. And in order to delete the data, we will write deleting a user app dot delete. If we want to delete a certain thing, we will have the same endpoint, that is user as well as ID. Then an asynchronous request. Within that, I'll place a try catch block. Const user is equal to await user dot find by ID and delete. Inside that, I'll place request dot params dot ID. And then if not user, then return a status code 404 with a JSON message. Message user not found. Or else res dot JSON user deleted successfully. We have to write the message. And if some error occurs, we will simply provide this line. I will go over here and remove this, and then I'll send. See, we are getting the message user deleted successfully. And now if we want to check in our data, let's refresh it. See, Ankita got deleted. Got it? Did you see? Okay, this is how we test our API endpoints using Postman, and this is how we create the APIs. Today's class was comparatively easier, right? Because we did some of the parts in the previous class. That is the post method as well as the get method. In the next class, we will proceed further with our Java development. In project evaluation, what are you evaluating? whichever things that I have taught to you people, you have to implement all those things in your project, and the you have to show me as much as you have completed. See, like I have shown you the API to create registering a user and then logging in, right? So what you can do is you have to create a front end as well as the back. Create API. Please explain one more time, ma'am. Which API do you want me to explain, Chitra? Update API, right? Okay. See, for the update, in order to update the data of the user, HTTP method do we use? We use the put HTTP method in order to use the data of a particular user. So, in order to update the user's data, we require we require the ID of the user. So, for that, we have provided the endpoints as user, and after that, we have placed our ID of the user, and then we have placed our asynchronous function. So inside the try block, as you people know that asynchronous function do have await keyword within it. So here we are using a function that is find by ID and update. What this function does is that it takes the ID and then it updates the data. So here, what are we taking? We are requesting the ID inside the parameter, right? Here inside the parameter. So therefore, we are writing request.params.id. And from where are we taking the data? We are taking the data from the body, which we are providing over here, isn't it? That is why we are writing request.body. And then it is creating creating a new data, right? For that we are writing new will be true, and then run validators it is a keyword which is used set to true enable to update the validators, right? So for here we will also keep the run validators in the true state only, and if the user is not found, then it will provide the user with the user not found error, and this otherwise it will provide the user with the updated data of the user. See, rest.json and then user. And if any error occurs, then it will throw with the user the error message. Basically, you have to remember only the find by ID and update method, and then new is equal to true, and then run validators as true. Only this thing you have to remember. Am I clear, Chitra? Okay. You have to do this task in groups only, because you people have been assigned your groups, right? So those groups you have to use in order to create your project. Any further queries? If group member are not actively doing, then if any of your group member is not contributing in the project, then what you have to do is just do your part and try to complete the project on your own. And while evaluating the project, what you will do is you will tell me the names of those members who did not contributed to make the project. I will mark them as 0 and you are going to get the marks. You have to make the UI as well as the backend, because I have taught you people React as well, right? So you have to create the UI using React, and you also have to make the APIs for the backend. Then you have to integrate both of them, and then I will ask you some of the questions regarding your project. Got it, Gurmeet? Yes, you can. Not basically you can choose. You have to create the UI. Say for example, I have taught you people to create a nav bar, right, Gurmeet? So you have to create a nav bar as well. As you also have to create a form in HTML where you will ask the user to put his email as well as his password in order to log in. And before that, in order to register himself, we will take all the necessary details in the form, in the form of a form tag, right? So that will be the part of your UI, and you also have to add some CSS over there as well. And in the back end, if you integrate with the backend, then it should show me whether it is perfectly working. Yeah, you people do have learning management system as your project, right? Okay. So are there any specification, like what kind of features do you have to add in your project, in your learning management system? What features did you thought of adding in the LMS? And did you start with it? The courses, enrollment, and what else, Kunal? AI assistant. Student registration, okay. Login register are the most basic things which are present in each and every website. What else are you planning to think? Have to create the APIs, right? Yeah, in order to make the backend connecting it with the database, you have to use MySQL over there, which we will be learning in the next week. Integrating Java, yeah, that Spring Boot with MySQL. What else do you have in your Java in the third and fourth? That is database integration, that is MySQL, Hibernate ORM, and JPA. That is in the third week, and in the fourth week, you are having JWT authentication in Java as well. All right. Currently, I can use MongoDB to show the working of API. Yes, Gurmeet, you can use. Now we are working with Mon, right? So you can use it. That's what I told Bushra, that until the thing that I have taught you people, that is user registration, login, as well as role based access. If you are the admin, then it should display with a message that welcome admin. And if you are a user, then you will not be able to perform, like add some of the features that only admin can do over there, instead of like the user cannot do, and the admin only has the those features. Add this thing as well, because I have taught you people about the role based access control along with the user registration and login. develop the UI for login and registration, as well as add some of the tasks. Say for example, if some can we do different? What different, Suresh? Say for example, some student got enrolled in the enrolled in the learning management system. So for that, what you have to use, you have to make a post HTTP method, right, in order to take the data of the student and then add it to your database. So for that, you have to develop the UI in order to take the details of the student and post all those details in your backend. Are you being able to understand what I am saying? Say for example, you have to take the name, as well as in which what degree is the student pursuing, and then in which institution is the student studying, all those data from the student, and then you have to store it in your database. Similarly, if the student is leaving the LMS, then you have to delete that student's entire data from your database. And say for example, if the student has to update his phone number, then you have to use the put method of HTTP, and you have to update the phone number of the student. So you also have to develop UIs for these things using React. These all features should be there. Is it compulsory to implement full module? Ma'am, which application are used to create API in one stack? Which application are used to create API in one stack? I told you people, taught you people today only, right? The HTTP methods through which you can perform crude operations. Not in order to create API, you have to create the API using the coding only, like in Node.js, like the way I did today. And in order to test them, you have to use the Postman application. Suhail, why you not there in the entire class? Harish, you have to do. I have taught you people React in the previous sessions, and now today I have taught you people to create APIs for performing crude operations. So you have to integrate both of them. Okay, Suhail. Just go through the recordings, the lecture recordings that have been provided to you people, and learn from there. Yes, Suresh. Any further queries? Suresh, do you want, I am thinking to create a website to record the to-do. Suresh, you have to develop the website which has been assigned to you people as a project. Yeah. Yes, Sunil, if you are not having any doubt further, then you can leave the meeting. How will the review be conducted? So we will be there in a Google Meet, and you have to present your screen one by one, and then I will then I will see your project and ask the questions based on your project. Am I clear, Salima? I have implemented Gmail verification using Node Mailer. Is it fine? It is fine, but I will ask you question based on that, so that you have to learn it. For individual groups, you will be presenting and you have to tell the names of the members present in your groups. And all those who have contributed to the project will be given marks and will share the screen as well. And I'll ask the questions each and every one of your group member who will be present in the meeting. And you people, if you people are not left with any doubt, then you people can leave the meeting.